Primobolan, known scientifically as methanolone, presents significantly different effects when comparing high-dose oral and injectable administration at 500 mg and 600 mg weekly doses. These elevated dosages push Primobolan into the upper ranges of its performance-enhancing capabilities, revealing stark contrasts between the two delivery methods in terms of efficacy, safety, and physiological impact, pharmacokinetics, and bioavailability. The fundamental difference between oral and injectable Primobolan becomes critically important at these high doses. Bumping to 600 mg provides diminishing returns, offering only slightly greater receptor activation. The oral version struggles to reach these effective concentrations even at 600 mg weekly due to first-pass metabolism, creating a ceiling for its performance benefits regardless of dose increases. Oral Primobolan acetate S-poor bioavailability means only 30 to 40% of the 500 to 600 mg weekly dose actually reaches systemic circulation, approximately 150 to 240 mg of active compound. This waste factor necessitates the high oral doses to achieve noticeable effects. The injectable enanthate version delivers nearly all 500 to 600 mg to circulation intact, making it vastly more efficient milligram for milligram. The oral version's gains include more fluid and glycogen, lacking the injectable's signature hardness. These differences stem from the injectable's superior nitrogen retention, collagen synthesis stimulation, and more stable androgen receptor activation. The acetate form's short 4 to 6 hour half-life requires dividing the weekly dose into multiple daily administrations, while the enanthate ester's 7 to 10 day half-life allows for convenient twice-weekly injections. The oral version shows some partitioning effects, but to a much lesser degree. Both forms preserve lean mass during calorie restriction, but the injectable does so more efficiently, making it superior for contest preparation or lean bulking phases. Increasing to 600 mg weekly may add another 1 to 2 pounds, but with disproportionately greater side effects. The increases come primarily from enhanced neuromuscular efficiency rather than pure mass gains. Oral Primobolan shows more modest improvements, 10 to 15% at 500 mg and 18% at 600 mg. The injectable's greater impact on phosphocreatine, recycling, and glycogen utilization accounts for this performance gap. The 600 mg dose provides slightly greater lipolysis, but with sharply increasing side effects. Oral Primobolan's fat loss at these doses remains underwhelming, perhaps 20 to 30%. Less effective than the injectable version despite the higher nominal dosage. Liver enzymes typically elevate 4 to 6 times normal levels, risking hepatitis-like symptoms with prolonged use. The injectable version causes minimal enzyme elevation at these doses, making it far safer for hepatic health despite the higher effective dosage. The oral version provides milder endurance benefits that plateau around 500 mg weekly. Athletes in sports requiring repeated explosive movements find the injectable form clearly superior at these dosage ranges. Injectable Primobolan at 500 mg weekly produces noticeable hair loss, acne, and increased body hair growth. At 600 mg, these effects intensify substantially. The oral version shows similar androgenic effects, but with more variability due to blood level fluctuations. Both forms can cause mood disturbances at these doses, though the injectable version tends to produce more consistent psychological effects. The oral version frequently causes increases of 15 to 25 mmHg systolic due to combined hepatotoxicity and fluid retention effects. Injectable Primobolan's impact on blood pressure is more modest, but still requires monitoring, especially at 600 mg weekly. The oral version, at 500 mg weekly, yields modest gains of 3 to 5 pounds, while 600 mg might reach 4 to 6 pounds. Less than half the injectable version S results at equivalent nominal doses. The injectable version's twice-weekly injections are more convenient but require handling larger oil volumes. Cost becomes prohibitive with oral Primobolan at these doses, as users must purchase 2 to 3 times more milligrams to achieve effects comparable to the injectable version. Injectable Primobolan at 500 mg weekly may suppress testosterone by 80 to 90%, increasing to near total suppression at 600 mg. The oral version suppresses 70 to 85% at 500 mg and 80 to 90% at 600 mg. Post-cycle. Recovery becomes challenging after either form at these doses, requiring comprehensive PCT protocols, including HCG and SERMs. Even at half these amounts, most women experience irreversible masculinization effects. The injectable form might be marginally safer than oral at equivalent doses due to avoiding liver toxicity, but neither can be recommended for female use at these levels. At 500 mg weekly, injectable Primobolan achieves blood concentrations that fully saturate androgen receptors, creating optimal conditions for muscle growth and fat loss. The injectable version's primary long-term concerns involve accelerated atherosclerosis from lipid damage and potential cardiac remodeling from chronic hypertension. Both forms can lead to permanent endocrine dysfunction with prolonged use at these doses. At 500 mg weekly, oral Primobolan typically suppresses HDL by 40 to 60%, while increasing LDL by 25 to 35%. The oral version works poorly as a primary compound at any dose, functioning better as a secondary agent in stacks. Neither form provides enough anabolic power at these doses to match stronger steroids, but the injectable version comes closer to being cycle-worthy on its own. The injectable version at the same dose shows HDL reductions of 30 to 40% and LDL increases of 20 to 25%. The 600 mg dose offers minimal additional benefit with disproportionately greater risks. Oral Primobolan fails to deliver comparable results even at 600 mg weekly due to pharmacokinetic limitations and severe liver toxicity. At 600 mg weekly, oral use may drop HDL to dangerous levels below 20 mg DL, while injectable use maintains slightly better lipid values. Muscle growth and physique impact. The additional 100 mg to reach 600 mg provides minimal extra benefit while significantly increasing side effects. The oral version's poor bioavailability creates an effective ceiling around 500 mg weekly. Additional milligrams are largely wasted to first pass metabolism rather than providing increased effects. Injectable Primobolan at 500 mg weekly produces substantial lean mass gains of 6 to 10 pounds over 10 to 12 weeks, with the muscle being exceptionally dense and well-retained post-cycle. Muscle quality differences become dramatic at these doses. Injectable Primobolan creates the characteristic Primobolan look. Ultra-dense, striated muscle with enhanced vascularity, fat loss, and metabolic effects. The injectable version's fat-burning capabilities shine at 500 to 600 mg weekly. Users report dramatic reductions in stubborn fat, particularly in the abdominal and lower back regions. Metabolically, injectable Primobolan at these doses significantly enhances nutrient partitioning, directing more calories toward muscle rather than fat storage, strength and performance enhancement. Injectable Primobolan at 500 mg weekly typically produces 15 to 25% strength gains, improving to 20 to 30% at 600 mg. Endurance benefits follow the same pattern. Injectable Primobolan at both doses dramatically enhances workout capacity, allowing for more volume and faster recovery between sets. The 17-alpha-chelated oral Primobolan shows severe liver toxicity at 500 to 600 mg weekly. Androgenic side effects become pronounced with both forms at these levels. Cardiovascular impact. Both forms negatively affect cholesterol profiles, but the oral version is significantly harsher. Blood pressure elevation becomes concerning with both forms at these doses. Endocrine system effects. Both forms severely suppress natural testosterone production at these doses. Practical administration and cost. The oral version's dosing schedule becomes burdensome at these high doses, requiring 70 to 85 mg daily, divided into 2 to 3 doses. Women's use. These doses are generally unsuitable for female athletes due to extreme virilization risks. Stacking potential. Injectable Primobolan at 500 to 600 mg. Weekly serves as an effective base for cutting cycles when combined with testosterone or Trenbolone. Long-term health considerations. Chronic oral Primobolan use at 500 to 600 mg weekly poses severe risks of liver damage, including fibrosis and potential cirrhosis. Diminishing returns. The injectable version shows clear diminishing returns above 500 mg weekly. Conclusion: injectable Primobolan at 500 mg weekly represents the practical upper limit for sensible use, providing substantial performance and physique enhancements with manageable side effects.